Hey everybody, welcome back to Superfriends here on the Hybrid Network. This is episode 97, and we've got a good deal of stuff to talk about. But before we get into that, I am here with my co-host, Tim.
How's it going, everyone?
And this wouldn't have been just two people, but the strangest thing happened before we started recording. CJ just died. He just disappeared. And then,
CJ setup blew up.
It was the weirdest thing. He just sort of, whoa! He disappeared, and that was it. We had to do it ourselves. There's been a lot of stuff about that Joker movie. Ever since it was reported, I believe it was Deadline reported it, I think, that there's going to be some sort of Martin Scorsese produced Joker origin story, not set within the framework of the DC Extended Universe. People have just been talking, and they've been just coming up with wild things about what this could possibly mean, but we didn't actually know that much about it. Well, apparently, let me look this up again. It was an MMA fighter dropped some details about it, and you can take this however you would want to take it based on that sentence I just said, but apparently the movie is supposed to be centered around a kid growing up in Brooklyn, a kid with a permanent smile, 80s Brooklyn, picked on as a kid, and he grows up to be a real gangster kind of character and really makes a name for himself. Which, the more I think about it, the more it just reminds me of that Brian Azzarello Joker story a little bit, just the way he was portrayed in that. But I don't really know how to think about it. On one hand, I like good gangster movies, and I like looking at stuff from an 80s gritty Brooklyn kind of look to it. On the other hand, though, I don't really know if that's what you want to do for a Joker movie. I don't know if that's what people look for with that character. I mean, I'm assuming you guys talked a little bit about this last week, but with this new stuff that's come out, Tim, does this jive with you at all? Would you be interested in something like this, or do you think that maybe this probably could have just been something else and not really Joker?
I mean, last week before this we recorded before this information came out, so my perspective idea for it was it was kind of similar to it, of showing Joker as a small-time gangster, and then going through having this accident happen to him, and then becoming the Joker that we know today, with it just being able to instill fear, become this larger-than-life villain from it.
Right.
So it wasn't exactly the same with it, but I mean, it seems like a direction to go if you're gonna tell his origin story with it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, there's not honestly, I feel making a Joker movie isn't a great thing in the first place, because he works better the less you know about him.
I would agree so, yeah. And I mean, again, just the way it's kind of presented, there's a whole bunch of different ways to kind of interpret the Joker, and I think it's just everybody kind of wants to see something that's a little bit more wild and out there, as opposed to a Joker, a gangster kind of thing. Because the past few iterations of movie stuff, Dark Knight, Heath Ledger, it was a great performance. It was very wild interpretation, and there was kind of this realism to it. And then with Suicide Squad, we get, I don't really know how to describe what we got with Suicide Squad, but we got it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was really kind of hoping that maybe with this a sort of origin story kind of Joker, you would see something a little bit more, I guess, not exactly like Killing Joke, but something that kind of helps transition to a larger-than-life character, not really a gritty gangster kind of thing, because I just feel like that's been done already.
Yeah, I mean, you can still start it off with the gritty gangster thing, and then do a swerve with it where you have the accident happen, introduce Batman into the story, and then you can do the more off-the-wall stuff.
Yeah. I that's what I would kind of go with it. And I mean, this could be a really cool movie. I mean, I don't even know. I'm not saying that I know it would be bad or anything, just in case people are upset. I'm just saying that I don't know if this is the direction I would have gone with this character. And I kind of agree with you in general. I don't think that a Joker origin movie is really what you need to do right now, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're...
Like, the thing I'm thinking about with it is them wanting to do, like, him being born with the permanent smile being bullied thing. Like, if you want to go that route, why don't you have his best friend be a bat named Bruce?
I mean, yeah.
He's just always been exactly the same way that he is now. He just rolled with it.
Just went with it. Yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting movie, I guess, at the very least. It's just maybe not really the Joker I'm wanting to see, is what I want to get at. I think one of the more interesting things about this, though, is that it was also coming out, this was Variety, I think, or it was some big trade, I think, was reporting on this, that apparently, like, one of the front runners, or not really front runners, someone that really, like, someone Warner Brothers really wants to cast in this is Leonardo DiCaprio as Joker. I say fine. If that's the case, fine. Like, I mean, he can pretty much do a wide variety of stuff, and I can't really think off the top of my head like a gangster role that he's done or something to this caliber. I mean, there's a few
Wasn't
things
he in
here.
Gangs of New York?
Was he in Gangs of New York?
I think.
I don't even know what that is. I haven't seen that. I don't know what that is. But if he was, then good for him. Then fine, you can just get him. He's good. He did a role with it. He was a gangster. So there you go. Just do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be fine with it. I think
I know that
he can work.
Both Variety and The Hollywood Reporter have reported on Leonardo DiCaprio, them wanting him.
Okay, there you go. I mean, I'm not, like, again, don't ever take it like as a 100% true unless Warner Brothers, I guess, comes out and says it, but it's probable because those are big trades. And I mean, they don't just say shit for no reason.
Right.
So I don't know. But again, you can just take it with a grain of salt, I guess, if you want. But I think it would be pretty cool. Like, what about you? Leonardo DiCaprio, does that gel with you? Do you think,
I don't know. It feels kind of off to me with it. I guess if he used like the same manic energy that he had in Wolf of Wall Street, it could work.
Something like that, yeah.
But even with that, like, I just don't see him as the Joker. His face, like, just physically, his face is a bit too round for it, in my opinion.
Perhaps. But you know what they did say? No one saw Jared Leto as the Joker. And where are we today with that, Tim? Are you eating your words today?
I never said anything back then about it because I barely knew who Jared Leto was.
All right. I was trying to bait you. It didn't work. I was trying to bait a lot of people, and it didn't work. But
it could definitely work. It's just not something that comes immediately to mind with me.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, if you could have someone, someone separate from Jared Leto, because he's the DCEU version, who would you have?
Now, honestly,
for this pitch in general.
I have no idea off the top of my head with it. I'm bad with casting.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of the same way. You know what I would have, though? Jaleel White.
No, Jaleel White, definitely.
You would do it. You would be good. Probably can't. I don't know about painting him white though, but he can do it. Anyway, that's kind of the big thing that we have with the news. The Joker thing was kind of like the big story, but again, there's not really a whole lot to know about it. There was only like just a few lines of saying what it's gonna be like in terms of him growing up, and Leonardo DiCaprio is a name that's being thrown out there, but in all, we don't really know that much about it. So that's going to do it for this episode of Super Friends. Thank you guys for joining with us. Tim, Tim, you have been my co-host. Are you here? Good. Where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at AussieDragoon.
And you can find me on Twitter at Baron_Zemo1. We thank you all for joining us, and we really hope that you come back next week. Later.
But after this episode, we'd understand if you didn't.
Goodbye, everybody.
Later.